Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with therawfoodworld.com, and as many people know, I'm starting to create new recipes on our channel called Clean Gourmet. I've been getting tired of eating the same thing every day, as many of you know from watching my live hangouts. So I've been looking for recipes that are very simple and clean, yet gourmet. For example, my first experiment is ravioli. This is all clean ingredients. I could literally eat this every single day. There's no spices, and what we're gonna do today, here's our dipping sauce, is show you exactly how to make my first clean gourmet recipe. And what it here is ravioli. Unbelievable. All right, everybody, the first step of this recipe, this simple, raw, gourmet, clean recipe, what we need to do is create the herbed oil that we use to put the wraps in and to drizzle on top of to make it extremely gourmet here. So the first step is to take, I personally like chia seed oil because it's the lightest of all the oils. This is like my favorite oil, I use it all the time. This is biryani olive oil. Both are available at therawfoodworld.com. This is more rich. If it was just me doing this, I'd probably just do the chia seed oil, but I'm showing the world how to do this type of thing. But anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 3 tablespoons in here of each oil. This is the highest quality gourmet raw olive oil I know of. And 3 of this, see this is like white. Well, that's like rich yellow. Love the chia oil. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take about, this looks like a tablespoon of basil. Yeah, tablespoon of basil, just put that right in. And then we got a half a clove of garlic. That's about the size that it is. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a mortar and just do this until everything is mixed together. So I'm gonna do that now and then I'll show you the end result. Okay, here's the end result. The oil's kind of turning green here. And the garlic's in there. It's not blending it to a fine consistency, it's just getting the aroma, the flavor, and everything like that. You can drizzle this on the end finished product recipe, and you can also use it, the ravioli, to make it oily and taste really good. So, all right. All right, so now I'm making my secret ravioli cheese. I found a way to make the most amazing cheese for actually raw pizzas, but also for something like this type of ravioli or samosa, whatever you want to do. So what I did was we soaked pine nuts for an hour or 2. It's 3 cups after soaked, so they probably expanded a little bit. So we're gonna put this right in here. I have a huge food processor, so I needed to do a lot. This is gonna make a lot of cheese, so you could just make it 1.5 cups and do half of everything that I'm doing, if you wish. And then, I've actually never done this before. This is a total experiment. I only did the pine nuts before in the past. But what I'm doing is I'm adding 1 cup, 8 ounces of soaked pistachios. Throw that right in there. These pistachios are ridiculously good. So we have Siberian wild pine nuts at an incredible price, and also the pistachios are a little bit more expensive, but all these ingredients are available at therawfoodworld.com. And then what we're gonna do is add garlic, 1 clove of garlic. I have a magic trick for you, look, you just go, pop. Put it in. I cut it beforehand. Okay, and then put it back together. Okay, so then lastly, we have 2 ounces of scallions. This is the secret. All of this is gonna be ground down to a cheese. So you're not gonna see the scallions. You could do more afterwards and pulse it in if you want a little green look to it. But we're just gonna put that in there. That does something to the cheese. I don't know 100% what, but it's just like incredibly good. And then we got lemon juice or lime juice. I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon. This is the only liquid we're putting in here. 2 tablespoons. A little bit more, let's say about two tablespoons. Need some salt. Our Himalayan salt is really good. Just gonna put less than a teaspoon in there. Probably like half a teaspoon. Boom. And the secret ingredient, the super duper secret ingredient that takes this to the next level is sunflower lecithin. Don't know what it exactly does, but first off, I'm very excited about it because I want all my foods to be nutritious, and this is lecithin. This is organic phosphorus is lecithin. The pineal gland has more lecithin than any other organ of the human body. Acetylcholine, lecithin is a precursor. Phospholipids, which are responsible for absorption, lecithin is a precursor. Our sexual secretions are loaded with phosphorus, and this is an incredible way to replenish that. This is incredibly important for our nervous system. It is pretty much the precursor to our spiritual facilities on some level. I did an entire article about how in the old days they used to say no thoughts without phosphorus. But anyway, this is like my favorite food right now. I take it every single day. We're literally gonna put a lot of tablespoons in here, and it makes the consistency of this cheese without liquid perfect for pizza, raw pizza. So I'm gonna do 4 tablespoons. So if you're doing half of this, you would do 2 tablespoons. My favorite superfood is sunflower lecithin. This is cold pressed, 100% raw. Haven't seen anything like it before. It just dissolves in your mouth. Gives you the elements needed for your pineal gland and so much more. Okay, so then what we're gonna do, and it's available at therawfoodworld.com. We have it at cost this month, actually. Okay, so now what we do is we simply food process it. Pistachio, I can see, is doing a good deed here. This smells so freaking good. Look at this cheese. Look at this cheese. It's like I'm gonna grind it down more. If you were doing pizza, you would grind it down as to be completely smooth, and then I would pat it on. You guys have seen me do a deep dish pizza before. This is ravioli. I'm gonna still grind it down probably all the way too. But the mixture of everything with the scallions and then these nuts and the lecithin, I don't know how it does it, but it's like the ultimate cheese here. Yes, and it's simple, gourmet, clean. There's no spices, there's no need. It's just like, these are foods that I would eat every day, 20 years raw. So, be right back. This is simple, gourmet cheese with the perfect consistency that's gonna go, oh my goodness. And I'm getting my sunflower lecithin intake. Crazy. All right, everybody, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm also gonna make a basic tomato marinara dipping sauce for these raviolis that we're making. What we have here is 2 to 3 cups of tomatoes. Just put that right in. This is also a really good soup if you wanna do it. Normally, like if you're gonna do a soup, you wouldn't wanna add dried tomatoes, but we're just doing a few, 2 ounces of dried tomatoes. This will give it more of a gourmet taste. Just a pinch of salt, nothing big, just boing. And then a pinch of Italian herbs. I don't like using spices, but these are just dried leaves. It's not like the powdered curry or other spices that we normally do. I'm not against spices, I'll eat them. I'm just doing clean, pure gourmet. I couldn't eat spices every single day because it'll make me not feel as good. An avocado, 1 whole avocado. And then about a couple tablespoons of basil, this is. And then I'd say about a cup of celery. And then we're simply just gonna blend this down. Here we go. So here's the tomato sauce. Let me just try it. Really good. The Italian herbs. This is perfect for our raviolis. All right, let's continue on. All right, everybody, the secret ingredient is right here in these coconut wraps. I've discovered a way to make these turn into the consistency of ravioli, like perfectly. If you go to the health food stores, these are usually between $12 and $14. at the rawfoodworld.com, you could literally get them for $6.90 something right now if you get 3. In the variety pack, I think it's even cheaper, and you can use the coupon code RAWFOOD7 for 7% off. Anyway, the way we get different colors is, even though it's, okay, so this is the original, it's white. We've got yellow for turmeric, cinnamon for brown. We're gonna put the fig cheese in that one. And then moringa is green, so it kind of looks like a spinach wrap of some kind. So what I'm gonna do next is cut these up, and we're going to teach you how to get it into the perfect texture for this raw ravioli. Okay, so what I did was I put 3 of every color wrapped together, and I'm going to cut ravioli pieces like this. Oh, it's perfect. It's the shortcut. And then we can just do right like this. And now we've got all of our ravioli pieces, all the different colors. We've got green, yellow, white, and brown. And now we're gonna show you the next step to taking these to the next level. This is the cheese, by the way. Okay, so what you do is you just take your squares of coconut wraps and you put them in water for 5 minutes. Soak it in there. You wanna separate them just so they're not stuck to each other, because this will put it in a consistency to where they do stick to each other. So I'm just gonna separate these out. Okay, so what you do is you take a clean towel, probably do paper if it's clean also, 3 or 4 minutes in here. So the white ones are a little bit thinner, and then you just place it on the towel, all the different little wraps, like that. We wanna get them dry afterwards. And then we want to take another towel, put it on, and pat it dry. Then I got my second towel, and then we're just gonna put it right on top. Dry it like that. We'll do a yellow turmeric one first. What you do is you just take the yellow turmeric wrap, and then you take a dollop of cheese like that, and you put it right in the middle. And then you take another turmeric yellow wrap, and you put it right on top. And then this is where you take our oil that's been marinating with the herbs and close it off like this, and get it to stick together. And depending on how much oil you like, you can put it all over it or just on the edges, drizzle it on, whatever you like. And then you have your ravioli. And then what you could do is you could cut the edges if you want to make it like perfect. I'm gonna cut the edges of it so it's like perfect. And if you want more presentation, you could take some of the tomato sauce, drizzle that right on top, but look at that. Perfect ravioli with the most amazing cheese ever. And now what we're gonna do real quick is a cinnamon one, because what we did was we took 1.5 dried Turkish figs, the ones that our website, therawfoodworld.com, are the best. We took some cheese and mixed them in here. So for the cinnamon ones, we got the same exact cheese, but with dried figs in it. And we'll just put a little dollop on right there, maybe a little bit more. Make sure there's a fig in there. And then take another cinnamon wrap and put that right on top. And it's the same process. And take some oil to close the edges off. Ooh, that's gonna be good. And then we're gonna do a green moringa one and a white other one. I like to go like this and just get it all in there. Look at that. Oh boy. Simple gourmet raw ravioli at its finest. And it's simple, easy ingredients that are out of this world. Very clean. This is perfect. All right, so I'm gonna continue on. Check that out, and we'll see you in a second. Look at this. This is like the original. It's like perfect. All right, check that out, everybody. Oh yeah. Okay. I think a white plate would look better if we served it, especially when we put the tomato sauce on. So let's change plates. Okay, everybody, here's the end result of our ravioli. With all raw foods, everything comes out in different consistencies. When you, like for example, these coconut wraps that we carry on our website from Nuco, sometimes they're thicker, sometimes they're thinner, so sometimes you might have to soak them in water for only 2 minutes versus 4 minutes, so you gotta kind of play with that. What I'm gonna do now, here's our dipping sauce. I'm gonna try to pour some on top here. We could also drizzle some of that oil that we use to do this, but all the different colors, beautiful. And if you're having parties or something like this, you can fancy it up even more with little herbs, or if you want to do different shapes, you can make them in circles, cut it like that, triangles, or you can actually just fold one in half to make a triangle. I was just going basic ravioli with squares. This is unbelievable, and it's time to dig in. But first, let's see if we can fancy it up a little bit more. Now is time to dig in. Let's try simple, clean gourmet. It doesn't get better than this. It's so good when you just pour crazy amounts of tomato sauce on it that we just made. Look at that. So good. So good. It's like the tomato sauce is like nice and vegetable-y, but it doesn't mask the taste of the cheese because it's so dense. It's like the two together, it doesn't take away from each other. It's like ridiculously amazing. So you can put as much of that tomato sauce on as you want. Wow. Okay, my sunflower lecithin. This is Matt Monarch, about to eat this entire plate. And we'll see you next time at therawfoodworld.com.